Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Can you guys please confirm that you can hear me? Just type it into the chat window. Okay. All right. So just in order to improve the sound quality, give me a moment. I'm going to try something else. Okay, so welcome to our session on Surah Al-Infitar. And possibly we may, if we get the opportunity, inshallah, then we will also do Surah Al-Mutaffifin. But as always, let's first start with a review of what we covered last time. So last time we talked about Surah At-Takwir, which, as you remember, was about the Day of Judgment, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing for us the scene in which we can almost see the Day of Judgment happening in front of us. And it starts with the putting out of the sun. So we also saw that in the Surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about some of the weakest people in the world today and the kinds of challenges that they face where they're not able to get any justice. So for example, the little girl that's buried and is buried by her own father. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that day will make sure that there's justice for her, and justice will start with her. Thirdly, we said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears upon his signs that the superstitious people hold those signs important, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears upon those signs, that they are just signs that he has created everything. And finally, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks the reader where the reader is going. Whoever is listening to the Quran or reading the Quran, where are you going? فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? And that will have a very close link with some of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the subsequent surah that we will do today, which is Surah Al-Infitar. Before I go there though, I had given you an interesting homework. Can you guys share with me whether you noticed anything while listening to the recitation of Surah At-Takwir in Warsh? I had shared a link with you. Can you just type it into the chat window? What did you notice that was different? What stood out for you? Did anyone notice something special in the recitation that I had shared the link for? Okay. While you guys are thinking about what you might have noticed or might not have noticed, there were certain words that were pronounced slightly differently. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, oh, so long mad, for example, that's good. That's true, mashallah. There are some cases where there's long mad. Okay, sure, it was beautiful, no doubt. And it's great that you appreciated the quality of the recitation, but I also want you guys to start appreciating the kind of the choice of recitation that a particular reciter uses. Okay, so kum motata. That's right. So kumu, for example, that was one word where it sounded different from Hafs, from the recitation that we're normally familiar with. So what I'm going to do today is, inshallah, when we're ending, as a part of your homework for today, I will give you guys a short video. This one is probably 5 to 10 minutes in length. And this video is about the ahruf and the qira'at. Because mashallah, you guys have been attending these sessions regularly. And once one starts appreciating the beauty of the Quran, we begin to realize that the Quran has layers. So each time you decide to go a little bit deeper, there's another beautiful layer. And it's the same verses that you've listened to before, recited before, perhaps memorized. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lifts another layer for you. And it's almost like inviting you into the Quran. And you go deeper and then deeper and then deeper, and you begin to feel like the Quran is um, an ocean that you can continue to swim in. And every time you recite it, you discover new things about it that you did not know before, that makes you fall in love with it over and over again. So I will share with you guys this video, which is about the qira'at and ahruf. Of course, it is your choice whether you decide to go and start looking at some of these things at this time. I just feel that like it will be great benefit since Ramadan is just around the corner. And in Ramadan, it's a great opportunity for us to recite the Quran ourselves, to try to understand it, and to listen to the recitation. And all of these three things are acts of worship. These are acts of ibadah. And when we put the extra effort into the ibadah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then gives us that much more benefit from it. So I will encourage you to go through that video. It's 5 to 10 minutes, and then you'll begin to see what I mean when I'm talking about the qira'at. And there's another word, ahruf, and if you're not familiar with it, inshallah, the video will explain it really well. For us though, I want us to go through Surah Al-Infitar at least, and if we find the time, we will inshallah also go through Surah Al-Mutaffifin. Surah Al-Infitar. So the word infitar comes from the first verse of this surah, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the sky cleaving asunder. Cleaving asunder is one of those thick English terms. Essentially means something ripping open or splitting apart. Typically along some kind of a seam, something ripping open. And in this case, we're talking about the ripping open of the sky. You will notice, as soon as we go into Surah Al-Infitar, you will notice it is very similar to Surah Al-Takwir, except that some of the description of the Day of Judgment is a little different. And it helps us understand whatever we read or recited in Surah Al-Takwir. So here's my question to you. Why is it that we find things mentioned in the Quran at some places, and then they're mentioned slightly differently in other places? What is the relationship between those two places? For example, in Surah At-Takwir, we recited about the sun, that the sun will be إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوبِرَتْ, that the sun will be wrapped up. And in Surah Al-Infitar, we're going to recite when the sky is cleft asunder or ripped open. What would be the relationship between those two? Think about it. In your own words, by the way, there's no right or wrong answer. I just want you to start using your own critical thinking and your own experience with how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shares information throughout the Quran. Anyone? Any ideas on what would be the relationship between one verse and another verse in the Quran? Any ideas? Okay, so different stages of life and circumstances, sure, that's a good start. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes different stages of life in this world, and of course, different stages of life in the hereafter as well. And that's one relationship between different verses. Sure, that is correct. Another interesting relationship is that one verse of the Quran is frequently explained by another verse of the Quran. So the Quran explains itself. When we're trying to understand the Quran, we have different ways of doing that. We can try to understand it, first of all, from the Quran itself, and that's usually the first source of information. And then the second source of information is whatever the Prophet ﷺ told us. He explained it. And wherever he did, in some cases, he had a very detailed explanation. In other cases, he might not. So we go to that source. And when that is not available, then we have other sources that we look to. We look at earlier books of the Jews and the Christians before us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to Musa alayhi salam and Isa alayhi salam, whatever is available for us from the information therein that does not contradict the Quran, we look at that as well. And then beyond that, we look at also the scientific information available to us and whatever we have come to understand through experience. So we go down in this way, in this sequence. So Al-Quran yufassiru ba'duhu ba'da. This is the qaida, this is the maxim that we use for this. Now, let's continue with Surah Al-Infitar. The first verse, as I had just mentioned, is إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ, when the sky splits open. So we will come out of our graves, we look up at the sky, yeah, sure, the sun will be covered up, but also our own sky, which will be kind of red, as mentioned in the earlier surah, and it will be splitting apart and open. Now we know a little bit more about what that scene will look like. وَإِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ انْتَثَرَتْ, and when the stars fall away. Now remember, we had recited something about the stars in the previous surah as well. Can anyone remind me of what it was? This is in Surah At-Takwir. There was a verse also about the stars. It said something about the stars falling. So that verse is again linked to this verse because we're getting more information. So that verse is وَإِذَا النُّجُومُ انْكَدَرَتْ, and when the stars fall. In this case, وَإِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ انْتَثَرَتْ, and when the stars fall away. In English, that's the best we can do. The translation for both verses sounds the same, but in Arabic, they're very different. In Arabic, in one case, it's nujum. In the other case, it's kawakib. Both are talking about stars because in English, we have that limited word. In Arabic, nujum is regular stars that we see, and the kawakib are stars which are really bright, which were used for navigation. So that one's talking about those many stars just disappearing and falling away. And this one is talking about those stars that are generally used for navigation, which means they have to be a reference point, them scattering away. They're scattering away. They're not where they're supposed to be. You look up at the sky, you're expecting them to be at a certain place. They're not there. They're just moving around, which means something will happen which will just change the whole universe around us. وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ فُجِّرَتْ, and when the seas burst forth. Remember, we had talked about the seas catching fire. Here, the seas will burst forth. They won't just catch fire. They will burst forth. One of the ulama explained this as, to our modern scientific mind, as possibly the earth kind of stretching and whatever heat is inside of it coming out and becoming flattened. Allahu a'lam, these are just our own conjectures for what might happen. وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ, and when the graves spill open. Spill open meaning they just kind of throw out whatever's inside of it. Remember, we had recited earlier that people who will be in their graves and suddenly they'll be outside. Well, that's how they'll be outside. The graves will throw us out. We will all be thrown out of our graves. عَلِمَتْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ. Each soul, each person will know what has been sent forth, what it has sent forth, and what was left behind. Now, this requires a little bit of time. We need to spend a little bit of time on this one. Remember, in the earlier verse we had read, عَلِمَ النَّفْسُ مَا أَحْضَرَتْ. Each soul will know whatever they have presented. Now we get more detail. Whatever they're presenting falls in two categories: مَا قَدَّمَتْ and مَا أَخَّرَتْ. What it has sent forth, forward, and what was left behind. What does that mean? This this requires some understanding, and I would like us to try. Go ahead, try to come up with an explanation for what this means. What was sent forth and what was kept. Qaddama can have more than one meaning. Let's just say something that was sent for the future, and akharat could mean that something that was left behind. So come up with your own explanations. What could this possibly mean? What are the two categories of things? Okay, so sending forth could be our good deeds and leaving behind our materialistic possessions. So that's a good start, mashallah. Good. What else? What else could it be? Any other ideas? Okay, something left behind can be sadaqah jariyah. Yes, sure, that's a good deed. And you will know on that day, okay, I left that sadaqah jariyah and, it has accrued this much since then, sure, absolutely. Something sent forth can be benefits in the akhirah, sure, things that we did. And these are the things that we sent forth, absolutely. Each person will know on that day. We will realize on that day what we sent forth, because we do not necessarily keep account of everything, not of every good deed and not of every bad deed. So we will know that. And we will also know at that day whatever we owned and what it was worth, sure. It also indicates every person will know on that day what we prioritized, because qaddama could also mean preferring something, holding something more important. So what did we prioritize? What was more important to us and what was less important to us? And a very interesting explanation of this verse is given by some explainers of the Quran who say that every soul will realize on that day what the earlier part of their life was like and what the later part of their life was like, and how the two differed. The important thing is that the qaddama means those deeds have been sent. Sent meaning it's almost like you send a letter and that's it, it's gone. There's no way to get it back. It's on its way. It will reach its destination. The deeds, once you've done them, they're also gone. They're gone. It's done. We will realize what we had in this world and the fact, yeah, that's right. So what we've done. We will realize, for example, that, in this world we had wealth, we had maybe some devices, maybe we had property, vehicles, perhaps we had relationships, the physical body that we have. All of this is what we have in this world. These are things that we have. And we will realize on that day what it was worth. This is the beginning of Surah Al-Infitar. In essence, it is also talking about the same things as what we have been looking at since Surah An-Naba. The next surah will change. Al-Mutaffifin is different. But from Surah An-Naba to Nazi'at, to Abasa, to Takwir, to Infitar, all of these surahs are essentially talking about, they are a reminder of the Day of Judgment. Not every surah of the Quran has the same theme. These 5 surahs have the same theme. So far, since the beginning of Juz Amma, we've been doing this theme, the Day of Judgment. That's what these surahs typically start with. And it continues with a verse which is probably one of the most shocking, and at the same time, it is beautiful and it is sad. The verse goes like this: Ya ayyuhal insan, ma gharraka bi rabbika al-kareem. Oh man, well, the translator here used the word humanity. Sure, oh humanity, what has deluded you against your most generous and noble Lord? It's actually, in English, it sounds a little bit aloof. In Arabic, it sounds almost sad. The kind of sadness that our Lord is expressing because our Lord expected better from us, from mankind. And similarly, our Lord wants us to do better. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from the Quran, from us. We touch the Quran, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be saved. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be in paradise. That is our home. That is where we're supposed to go. But many times we make different choices, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying this, and the verse sounds very sad. Ya ayyuhal insan, oh human, what has deluded you such that you have such audacity against your Lord? Now, in other verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the Lord of the heavens and the earth, or in this case, it could have been the Lord of all creation. But the particular use is your Lord, not any other creation's Lord, your Lord. What has deluded you about your own Lord, your most generous and most noble Lord? الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك. The one who created you, who fashioned you, fashioned meaning tweaked you, فعدلك, and balanced you, or put you in a state of balance. There's another interesting verse in the same juz, in Juz Amma also. In fact, I'll tell you, it's in Surah Al-A'la. Does anyone remember that verse which has khalaqa and sawwa in it? It has the same 2 words, khalaqa and sawwa. Does anyone remember? Created you and fashioned you. So this verse is in, okay, I'll let you guys, if somebody's able to respond, it'd be great if they do. In the meanwhile, I would just emphasize the 3 things that are being talked about here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions your Lord who created you, so that makes him our Lord, who fashioned you, tweaked you, molded you in a very special kind of way. That's sawwa, fasawwaka. And the 3rd word here is fa'adalak, and balanced you. human beings were created in a most balanced way. We have inside of us opposing forces. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has built inside of us the ability to do good and bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has built inside of us the ability to be angry and to be kind at the same time. To be, let's say, fast and very deliberate at the same time. So we have these things inside of us, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has balanced us in this way. That's how Allah created us. We have that balance inside of us. You see, our example in relation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is like that of a slave who knows that the master is watching, but disobeys the master, thinking that the master won't care. Either because some people might believe that there is no God, or that we believe that there is a God, but God doesn't punish people. So I had a Hindu friend many years ago, and we were talking about God. And he said, okay, my belief is that God did create us, but God doesn't really care about us. God is really busy with other things. So whether we do good or bad, it doesn't really matter to God. And I later on discovered that he didn't come up with this on his own. This has actually been debated back and forth by the people of Quraysh and by the Greeks before them as well. And who knows, many other people among mankind. So there are people who say things like that, but why? Why do people say things like that? Or why is it that sometimes we think like that? It's because we don't want to be held accountable. We don't want to think that our actions will matter. In that way, we're spiritually lazy. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing us. Those of us who are accessing the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing us. الَّذِي خَلَقَكَ فَسَوَّاكَ فَعَدَلَكَ. The verse that I was talking about is in Surah Al-A'la. سَبِّحِ اسْمَ رَبِّكَ الْأَعْلَى الَّذِي خَلَقَ فَسَوَّى. Glory be to your Lord the Most High, the one who created and fashioned. Created and fashioned. Yes, that's right. It is a sad reality. However, all of us who are in this conversation today, we have the opportunity to do otherwise. It doesn't have to be sad for us. In the end, when we are thrown out of our graves on the day of judgment, as just mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what will matter is what we did, the choices we made individually. So let's make sure we make better choices so that it is not sad for us, so that we are among those people who please our Lord, so that we have that kind of relationship such that we become among the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls his ahleen. And this is something that the Prophet said. He said, Inna lillahi ahleen, that for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps this list of very important people. And the Prophet said, so the people asked the Prophet, who are these people? Who are these? We'd like to be among them. So who are these people? And he said, Hum ahlul Quran wa khasatuhu. These are the people who engage with the Quran, and these are the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept especially for him. So let's make sure that we recognize the Quran as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala communicating with us. This is a sermon from Allah that we're listening to at this time. And yeah, sure. So support each other too. That is to be steadfast. Yeah, that's right. Out of kindness for each other, inshallah. It continues, في أي سورة ما شاء ركبك. And whatever, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put us in a shape that He willed. The kind of shape that mattered. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala molded us in that shape. Kalla, nay, but no. In fact, you deny the final judgment. See, this is what I was saying earlier. The reason why people come up with all of these weird theories is because they don't want to think they will be held accountable. So they come up with some weird belief that will make them think like it won't matter. I can continue to do whatever I want, regardless of how much it hurts other people, for example, because it doesn't really matter. We see what's happening in Gaza right now, and it makes you wonder, do these people not believe that they will be held accountable for it? Well, perhaps they've deluded themselves into thinking that they will not be held accountable for it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كَلَّا بَلْ تُكَذِّبُونَ بِالدِّينِ. It is because you deny the day of judgment. وَإِنَّ عَلَيْكُمْ لَحَافِظِينَ. And you deny it, but you are being observed by vigilant kiraman katibin, honorable angels who are recording everything. يَعْلَمُونَ مَا تَفْعَلُونَ. They know whatever you do. So the interesting thing here that I want to point out is whatever you do is, it can be, it can be described in two ways. You can say, يعمل تعملون, so it could have been تعملون like amal, or it could be تفعلون like فعل. So amal and fi'l are two ways of, in English we would say, doing something. But fi'l is anything. Standing up, sitting down, going here, coming back. These are all fi'l. But amal is something that we do deliberately with intention for a specific purpose. In this case, the angels are recording everything, like literally every single thing is being recorded. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the capability to be more of a recorder. In English, that sounds kind of weird, but if you know what I mean. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has more of an ability to capture everything that we do, especially the things that we do deliberately and with intent. So there's a hadith, for example, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell the kiram and katibin of a person to record one good deed for that good person who did that good deed. So the angels will say, but he didn't do anything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, he was going to do a bad deed, but stopped. That is counted as a good deed, so recorded. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is even more generous and really wants us to do well, and is more aware, even more aware than the angels, which means these angels have limits to what they have, what they know, or what they're able to understand. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no limits. So that was an important point to make here. It continues, إِنَّ الْأَبْرَارَ لَفِي نَعِيمٍ. Indeed, the virtuous will be in bliss. Remember in the previous surah, we had recited, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? We had a brief conversation about that. Where are you going? So, where are you going? And this is where you're going. This is the answer to that verse. So, whatever in Surah Takwir we recited, this is the answer to that. فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? And here are the two options for where you're going. إِنَّ الْأَبْرَارَ لَفِي نَعِيمٍ. If you're virtuous, you will be in bliss. وَإِنَّ الْفُجَّارَ لَفِي جَحِيمٍ. And the wicked will be in hell. And the word wicked is a good one to use here because it's not talking about people who, might do some good one day, might do some bad one day. The word that's used here is in the form of a noun, which means these are people who've decided that they're going to be like that for the rest of their life. They've been written off because of the choices they've made and because of the way they view the world and because they are completely indifferent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they are fujjar. Innal fujjara lafi jahim. They will be they will be in hell. So the word jahim, by the way, is also interesting. Very briefly, I just want to mention it. When a wild animal is ready to eat its prey and it takes that final look at that animal, that look is called jahannam. And hellfire on that day will have apparently that kind of a stare. And it will want to grab those people that are going to be fed to it as fuel. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not make us among them. Ameen. Although we are all sinful, we make mistakes, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us and to, out of His mercy, to enter us into His paradise and save us from hellfire. Ameen. يَصْلَوْنَهَا يَوْمَ الدِّينِ. Burning in it on the day of judgment. وَمَا هُمْ عَنْهَا بِغَائِبِينَ. And they will have no escape from it. Interesting thing about this, while people are in their grave, they will see their abode on the day of judgment. So they're still in their grave. The day of judgment has not started, but a window, this portal will open up and they'll be able to see it. And the wicked among them, for example, people like the Fir'aun who kill babies. So Fir'aun will get to see where he's going to end up. Fir'aun and Ala Fir'aun also. They will get to see it morning and evening. They'll be presented to the fire. And they can't even turn their face away from it. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ. And what will make you fully understand what the day of judgment is? It's almost like saying you can't get it. Really, yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I'm communicating this to you, but you don't fully understand it. Yeah, you have these words, sure, but you still don't fully understand it. ثُمَّ مَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ. Again, what will make you realize what the judgment day is? I wish I could really communicate the way it hits the heart in Arabic, but even in English, I think you guys are getting it, that the fact that it's being repeated means it's a far bigger deal than any of us realizes. يَوْمَ لَا تَمْلِكُ نفس لنفس شيئا. It is a day no soul will be of any benefit to another. Think about that for a moment. Today, if we're in difficulty, we may go and ask someone for help, maybe a relative or maybe a friend or somebody who's somehow connected to us professionally. We may go and ask them for help, or we have these contacts that we call this person or call that person. They may be able to help us. Then there are some people who may depend on peers, and of course here I'm talking about the ones who are involved in shirk, of course. The word peer doesn't have to be a bad one, but in this case we're talking about the peers who are involved in shirk. So people depend on them and they say, don't worry, I'll guarantee, on the day of judgment, I will make sure that you go to paradise. That you can't do that. No one can guarantee that. And how do I know that? It's in the Quran. It's right there in front of you. يَوْمَ لَا تَمْلِكُ نَفْسٌ لِنَفْسٍ شَيْئًا. Anyone who says that someone can guarantee someone else being saved on the day of judgment, show them this verse. Not possible. Can't do it. Allah says in the Quran, no one can do it. Only it's between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only. And then because alhamdulillah we're from the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has saved his dua. Every Nabi gets a special dua and every Nabi has used his dua. But the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has saved his dua for the day of judgment for his ummah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us among his ummah so that on the day of judgment, inshallah, we can be saved from hellfire, through his dua as well, inshallah. And well, amru, and your brother's mentioning Ayatul Kursi. Yeah, that's right. So this relates to what Allah says in Ayatul Kursi as well. Well, amru yawma idin lillah. Sorry, just should mention the same thing applies to idols. People who worship idols and think the idols will save them. Again, obviously, it will not work. Well, amru yawma idin lillah. And authority, all authority on that day belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala entirely. It is not Jesus. It is not some saint. It is not some idol. It is basically us and Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in order to communicate this to us, has sent us his book. The book that we're engaging with right now, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us benefit from that. So we could not make it to Surah Al-Mutaffifin. I guess inshallah we'll do it next week. For now, let me just go on to the homework because we're out of time. And in fact, I'm about a minute over. Inshallah, I will, in the homework again, as I mentioned, there's a YouTube video. This YouTube video is about the qira'at and the ahruf. And it's easy to understand and the person has done it visually. So I strongly recommend that you go through it. Inshallah, be very helpful. And the second homework is, again, continue to make a journal of how each ayah and each surah is affecting you. And it'll be a good idea to write your own book of deeds as well, inshallah. Okay, what is the special difference in the Warsh recitation? Is it the long Hamza? It's not just the long Hamza, actually. There are several differences. Rather than me telling you the video that I've shared with you, just go through that video. It will not just talk about Warsh. It's also talk about Qalun. And there are actually several others. There are 10 qira'at. So it will talk about all 10 qira'at. And then there are many other YouTube videos on the way certain recitations are done. So the mand is one aspect, and there are several other aspects, and then the ahruf also play a role. So again, I'm not an expert in that. Like you, I am also just I appreciate it and I enjoy the beauty of it, and I understand it somewhat. But there are people who are experts of it, and it's better to learn from them, inshallah. Share the homework, WhatsApp and Facebook too. Okay, so we do share it on WhatsApp every time. But inshallah, today we will do it on Facebook as well. So our volunteers, inshallah, will help with that. Jazakumullah khair. If there are any other questions, I can stick around for another minute or two. Otherwise, Jazakumullah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the opportunity to implement whatever we're learning. Because those who implement whatever they're learning in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves them. There's a story about Ubay ibn Ka'b. Remind me at some other time because we're out of time today. I'll tell you that story about what happened to him because all he did was he would learn the Quran and implement those verses. And he became a really special person to Allah. Inshallah, someday I'll tell you guys that story. So no questions. With that, Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, see you next week.